Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got a little clip to share with you just to sort of reiterate what I have been talking about for most of this past week. It's single motherhood and why we should not, as a Black community, be promoting it or celebrating it or uplifting it or viewing it as it is a viable family structure. It actually has been the bane of our existence as a community. It has contributed to no end of just a complete downward spiral and a complete breakdown of our community, such that we may or may not be able to revive it. And I kind of hate to say that. That's why I struggle with saying it, because I don't like even really uttering the words. But at the same time, I got a little clip, and it's actually Marlon Wayans. And he's explaining something, and I want you to listen very carefully to what he's saying. I might let it go twice. I think he might be saying a little bit of language, not too tough, but just in case there may be a little bit of language in this, I might run it twice. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen, and here we go.
Could all be gangster.
Right, yeah.
I watched niggas do nigga shit my whole life. When you grow up in the bricks, you know what it is. I know niggas in Rikers serving life that I grew up with. I used to play in the playgrounds with. Right. I just chose not to go to that park with them. I went somewhere else. I chose to do other things. My mother was like, street lights come on, bring your black ass upstairs. My dad was like, I was more afraid of my dad's bell than anything. So that kept me out of trouble. When you young Black men without fathers get into a lot more trouble. A mother is different than a father. A father will strike fear in your ass. A mother, you could argue with. At a point, a boy, 13, 14 years old, Ma, I could take you. Nah, I got hair on my dick. Now, you can't take me. Those slaps don't work. Those belts don't hurt. When you grow up in the hood, we can all be gangster. I watch niggas do nigga shit my whole life. When you grow up in the bricks, you know what it is. I know niggas in Rikers serving life that I grew up with. I used to play in the playgrounds with. I just chose not to go to that park with them. I went somewhere else. I chose to do other things. My mother was like, street lights come on, bring your black ass upstairs. My dad was like, I was more afraid of my dad's bell than anything. So that kept me out of trouble. When you young Black men without fathers get into a lot more trouble. A mother is different than a father. A father will strike fear in your ass. A mother, you could argue with. At a point, a boy, 13, 14 years old, Ma, I could take you. Nah, I got hair on my dick. Now, you can't take me. Those slaps don't work. Those belts don't hurt.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and it's just nothing but facts. He's speaking nothing but facts. I told you all that boys outgrow the authorities of their mothers. Mothers can only have authority over little boys when they are prepubescent. Once those boys reach puberty, 12, 13, 14 years old, they are not trying to listen to anything that their mother is saying. If they have not garnered just respect for her, doing what she say out of respect for her, then they're not going to do what she says. Because boys reach a point where they do what they mama say just because it's respectful, not because they fear her. And it's even more pronounced when there's a father to answer to, because the dad, you know what the dad say to the son? You can't talk that way to my wife. Not your mother. That's my woman. That was my woman before she was your mother. And I don't allow nobody to talk to my wife like that. Boys do not outgrow their fathers. Boys have to earn the respect of their fathers when they get older, for their fathers to say, okay, I recognize you as a man, and I'll treat you not as my subordinate, but you are now welcomed into manhood. You're a man. I'll treat you like my peer now. Still, there's a respect that has to be there. But at the same time, I've seen this evolution between a father and a son. I've watched it up close. I watched myself not be able to outgrow my father, but then I watched my brothers reach that point with my father where we're men. We're men. Now you've gone through what men go through. And you handled it well. You handled it like a man. In many instances, you handled it better than I did when I was your age. So you're a man now. So I can tip my hat now. Now we can roll in the same circle because you're a man. We can relate to each other differently because you're a man now. You're my son. You'll always be my son, but you're not a little kid. You're not a boy. You're a man. And when you act like a man, your daddy treats you like one. You act like a boy, he treats you like a boy. I don't care how old you are. You have to earn men. And he said something else that was very clear. He said his father was who he was afraid of, not his mother. Not his mother. He said after 13, 14, you argue with her. You argue with, I told y'all that. You argue with her because I can take you. You're nothing. At 14, he can jump you. And you won't win. That little teenage, the first beginning of his man strength kick in, little testosterone kicked in, beat you up. Because I remember when my little brother got to 14, he was already like 6'4". At 14 years old, he had to be no shorter than 6'2". Already towering over me. He did what I told him to do out of respect for me, not because he feared me. It was my husband that instilled the fear. You gonna act right? Because that's my wife. And I'm the man of this house. And you ain't gonna step on my toes ever. Got it? And not that my little brother was a bad boy. It was just he was a boy. So when boys get of age, it's in their nature to try to test the authority, to challenge it. It's in their nature to do that. And if you're just a mom with no other man around, he gonna challenge you and win. He gonna challenge you and win because women do not have the natural authority and the natural threat that men have. So a boy, even though he challenged his father, he'll do that sparingly. And he's easily checked if his father check him. Because I done seen daddies do it. Oh, we ain't dealing with the belt no more. Oh, you think you a man? Let's take it outside. Come on. Come on, Cletus. No, you was talking. Wasn't you? Just a minute ago, you was jumping bad, right? Right? You a man? You ready? You ready? You ready for me? Because right now, I'm not going to be your daddy. Is that what you try? Oh, okay. So you're not ready. So since you're not ready, I'm going to need you to shut up and stop popping off at the mouth like you ready. Because you really don't want no smoke. You really don't want this smoke. Why is that? Why does that work? Because there is an underlying threat of violence, even from his father. The same man that would die to protect him. And you know that. It's also the same man that tears his head off. And do it out of love. You tear his head off, put it back on him and hug him. You understand what I'm saying? And to tell him I only did that because I love you. Because if I don't do that, somebody else will do that and they'll delete you. They don't love you. I'm trying to teach you a lesson about what men do and what we don't do. You can never challenge a man like that if you ain't ready. Never step up to that plate if you ain't ready. That is where the boys learn. that inherent threat of violence is from every man. If it can come from his dad, it can come from anybody. The difference between his father and just some random person is his father loved him. He ain't gonna go too far, but he gonna go far enough. He gonna go further than the mama gonna go. See, women have a tendency to try to become more violent. That's not the answer. And they try to become more violent with their children, whip them more, punish them more, yell more, and all of that type of thing because they lack that inherent authority that checks. Women don't have that because it's masculine. And it's truly masculine. You have to have true masculinity, not pseudo masculinity. Pseudo masculinity doesn't pull it off. You have to have true masculinity. Natural, biological masculinity actually does that. So just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.